I certainly am, and this is one of my favorite times of the year. Beakerhead, kind of a mashup of technology and art, really cool things. And to tell us a little bit more about what we can expect this year, Michelle, the Beakerhead, a little bit chilly out this morning.
It is, but luckily it's not snowmageddon as last year on our first day.
That's true, but lots of things to heat people up this year. Some big things to see. Kind of give us an idea of what people can expect this year.
Well, in terms of heating things up, certainly there's the fire-spitting ski ball that's at Beaker Night on Saturday night.
We actually have some video of this that we want to bring up to show people what they can expect. This looks pretty phenomenal.
It is amazing. It's from the Toronto group Site 3 Fire Arts, and it is an amazing arcade game that all ages can play.
Now, this actually premiered at Burning Man a couple of years ago.
Yeah, most certainly, and they do a lot of fire arts. This is just the first fire arts that they're bringing to Beakerhead in Calgary. Certainly with the fire department and our partnership with the fire department, we're trying to bring more fiery arts in the future years.
Now, other than the fiery arts, what else can people expect this week?
So today we are at one of the sites of the largest pop-up engineered art gallery in the world. It's 5 kilometers circumference around the Calgary downtown, and it's in flux.
I love it. I love it. And lots of interesting things to see, like this in my hand. This is called Nanoleaf. Now, this is the world's first, I guess, the world's most efficient light bulb. Now, I want to bring you over here because Jimmy's standing by. Jimmy, tell me a little bit about this. This is pretty cool.
So this is the Nanoleaf light bulb. It's the world's most energy efficient light bulb. And I'm one of the co-founders and I'm the CEO of this company. We have an office over in Toronto, so it's a Canadian innovation. So we're really proud to be here in Calgary, showing it off at Beakerhead.
It's got a really interesting design.
Yeah. It's the shape of it is actually a dodecahedron, and we designed it in a way to really optimize it for energy efficiency. So it's really exciting to show off here.
Now, here's the question: how long does it last?
It lasts about 30 years. So it's a
One
long
bulb,
time.
30 years.
One bulb, 30 years. Yeah.
And can you buy these already?
Yeah, they're selling on our website, so it's www.nanoleaf.me, but we're actually developing a lot more new technology as well, so we're going into connected lighting products. I think the future of lighting is going to be connected, so it's really exciting.
Very cool. Now, we have to show people what it looks like when it's on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were initially looking for a plug-in. Well, we're by the river. There's no plug-ins here, so you came up with another idea here.
Yeah, so we're going around Beakerhead showing off this, we're trying to educate a lot of the students here in Calgary about what energy efficiency really means. And one of the demos that we had was we had this incandescent bulb, and we got the strongest kid to come out to try and turn on the incandescent bulb with a hand crank. We have a hand crank right here. And then we had kind of the smallest person come up, usually a little bit of a smaller student, and then they would do it, and they'd show how bright the Nanoleaf bulb could get.
Okay, so let's see.
Here, the strongest guy in the room here.
All right, here we go. Give her a crank.
So you'll see that just with a simple hand crank, we could actually get a lot of light coming out, right? And this is incredible because, you know, if you think about it, in a lot of third world countries, this is what they have to resort to. So it's really great.
It's pretty amazing that a hand crank can actually turn on that light bulb. The Nanoleaf already in stores, just one of the many things you can see at Beakerhead over the next couple days here in the city.
30 years that light bulb can last. That's awesome.
It's a pentagon with 12 sides.
Awesome.
I'd like a dodecahedron. I wonder if that's available for market.
Good use of dodecahedron.
Thank you.
Checking in with Dave Woe right now to find out how the drive to work's going. Hey, Dave.
We do have some tasty breakfast, but we're standing in this structure here and we're all talking about these blocks because they are alive and there's an interesting aroma coming off them. We're going to get to that later on in the show. But yes, it's all about Beakerhead, and Beakerhead has a lot of different themes. And want to talk a little bit about some of those themes with Dan from Trico Charitable Foundation. And one of the big themes, I guess, is sustainability this year.
Yes. In fact, the way to think of Beakerhead for a better world is Beakerhead Plus. So Beakerhead is absolutely amazing at celebrating this smash up of art, engineering, and science. What Beakerhead for a Better World does is adds one additional element, which is celebrating how those can come together, those disciplines, and actually solve the greatest world challenges. So Beakerhead for a Better World this year celebrates the reimagination of energy and water and building materials and things like food.
Right, and food. Speaking of food, I happen to have something in my hand here, some granola that comes from I guess you can call it a renewable resource, but something of a different nature. Exactly, and I've got Nathan standing by to talk about this. We'll walk over here. This is granola, but it's a little different.
That's right. It's got a secret ingredient in there, a new superfood, you might say. It's made from crickets.
From crickets.
That's right.
In fact, I think it says made from cricket flour, and I turned this around. And it says a full serving is half a cup, and there are 40 crickets in a half cup of granola.
That's right. Now, these aren't the crickets that you find in your backyard. These are farmed specifically for human consumption, and they are ground into a flour. So you can actually add it to all sorts of baked goods, and you can get the nutrition and the sustainability without having to see it.
Now that flour was kicking around somewhere. Do you still have the flour?
I don't have the
No,
flour,
it's
but
disappeared. Somebody's got the flour. Oh, even better. You actually have you've got
this
the crickets.
is the star of the show.
That's where it all begins, right with that.
Yeah, these guys are high in protein, iron, calcium, and they can be raised without a lot of water, space, or greenhouse gas emissions.
I'm tempted to try the granola.
I recommend it. Absolutely. I've got a handful of the granola already.
Okay, so there's different flours. There are different flavors here. There's cranberry and almonds. I've got the cocoa cayenne. Okay, I'm going to try this. Let's see. It's soft.
Now, the crunch you get in there, that's from pumpkin seeds, nuts, cashews, not the crickets.
Not the crickets. Okay, I'm ready to try real cricket then.
All right.
Apparently, they told me beforehand, Jill and Ted, by the way, that the flour. Oh, you're giving me a whole bunch. They said, Jill, that the cricket flour tastes a little bit gamey. So I'm not
like
sure.
Sunflower seeds.
Okay, so. Okay, here goes. Listen to that crunch. Can you hear that?
No.
Yeah, it tastes like sunflower seeds.
Yeah. So you can imagine that works really well in all sorts of recipes: cookies, crackers, pastas, granolas.
Or just great to eat on their own.
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
Sea salt.
There you go. Crickets for breakfast. Why not, Jill?
I can think of a few reasons, but you were braver than I, Mike. Thanks very much.
Yeah, you know what, Ted, I can't stop playing with this. It's so bizarre to actually touch this, knowing that this is living. I'm standing inside a maze here, created with living blocks. Now, to tell us a little bit more about it, Sue's joining me, because you're one of the brainchilds behind the project. There's a lot of people involved with it, but you got to explain what these are made of, because they feel very suede, almost kind of fleshy.
Yeah, so that suede, fleshy skin that you're feeling is the mycelium. The mycelium is the microscopic part of the life cycle of a fungus. So we have the mushroom that comes above ground out of the log or the tree, and we have this microscopic network that is actually a fabric. It's woven together, and that is how it creates a natural resin.
So fungus building blocks.
Fungus building blocks, exactly.
So the outside, kind of there's that skin. On the inside, there's more fungus inside, but there's other stuff in there. Now, you actually have a bag to show what is actually inside. What's in here?
Yeah, so this is Ecovative's Grow It Yourself kit, so that anyone can play with this technology, this mushroom materials technology. What's in the bag is ground up corn stalks and leaves and ground up hemp stalks and leaves. And so the substrate is a combination of the two. We've added the fungus mycelium, grown it for a while, and then dehydrated it so that we can ship it easily to anyone who wants to start building.
So you add some moisture to this, and then you start molding, and then the block kind of creates itself. How long for a block to mature like this?
So in our factory facility in Troy, New York, this takes 5 days to grow the brick. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the bricks, I mean, obviously different things you could use this for. Building is one, but I was hearing somebody say earlier that this could replace styrofoam.
Yeah, so Evan and Gavin, who are two engineers from Rensselaer Polytech Institute in Troy, New York, started the company in 2007. And the first product was actually a building insulation they called Green Slate. The recession hit the next year, and that was too difficult a market to enter. So they pivoted to replacing styrofoam packaging, because we can grow molded shapes. And so we now have another 30,000 square foot factory cranking out mushroom packaging that just goes right back into the earth. It's cradle to cradle, gold certified, comes from plants and fungi, nothing else, goes back into the earth, plants and fungi. We just think we're borrowing it for a short time.
Right. Very cool concept. And I just want to show everyone at home too that these walls actually are movable. They have rods in them, and look at this. Look at that. It actually moves. You can create new mazes and things like that. One of the cool things you can see at Beakerhead, and I will say, it's got a very interesting aroma as you walk through this maze.
I bet it does.
They are living and they smell.
Yeah, they're living and they smell. Good stuff. Thank you, Mike.